Birthdays are days that I like to skip over the last 10 years. When it comes, I like to look the other way. I don't like marking your time like that. I just keep rolling forward.
Robert Redford is an American actor, director, producer, and environmentalist. Over his more than 60-year career, he's won several film awards, including an Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement in 2002. In the 1980s, Redford began his career as a director with Ordinary People, 1980, which was one of the most critically and publicly acclaimed films of the decade, winning 4 Oscars, including Best Picture and the Academy Award for Best Director for Redford. He also has won a BAFTA, Directors Guild of America, Golden Globe, and Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Well, I just don't believe the premise, you see, in most of these awards, that they, whether it's even films or sport, for the most part, to me there's only one true contest, and that's the foot race.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Charles Robert Redford Jr., but is also known as Bob. He was born on August 18, 1936 in Santa Monica, California, making him age 83 at the time of this production. He stands at 5'10.5" or 1.79 meters. In May 2011, Alfred A. Knopf published Robert Redford, the biography by Michael Feeney Callan, written over 15 years with Redford's input and drawn from his personal papers and diaries. On September 12, 1958, in Las Vegas, Nevada, Redford married Lola Van Wagenen, who dropped out of college to marry him. They had 4 children: Scott Anthony Redford, September 1, 1959 to November 17, 1959. Shauna Jean Redford, born November 15, 1960. David James Jamie Redford, born May 5, 1962. And Amy Hart Redford, born October 22, 1970. Scott Redford sadly died of sudden infant death syndrome at the age of 2.5 months and is buried at Provo City Cemetery in Provo, Utah. Shauna Redford is a painter and married to journalist Eric Schlosser. Jamie Redford is a writer and producer, while Amy Redford is an actress, director, and producer. Robert Redford has 7 grandchildren. Lola and Redford divorced in 1985. In July 2009, Redford married his longtime partner, Sybil Zaggers, at the Louis C. Jacob Hotel in Hamburg, Germany. She had moved in with Redford in the 1990s and shared his home in Sundance, Utah.
I couldn't find anything that I really wanted to do. And there didn't seem to be any point in just creating something just for the sake of creating.
Redford was born on August 18, 1936 in Santa Monica, California, to Martha W. and Charles Robert Redford Sr., a milkman turned accountant. He has a stepbrother, William, from his father's remarriage. Redford is of English, Scottish, Irish, and Scots-Irish ancestry. His patrilineal great-great-grandfather, Englishman Elisha Redford, married Irish Catholic Mary Ann McCreary in Manchester Cathedral. They emigrated to New York City in 1849, immediately settling in Stonington, Connecticut. They had a son named Charles, the first in line to have been given the name. Redford's family moved to Van Nuys, California, while his father worked in El Segundo. He attended Van Nuys High School, where he was classmates with baseball pitcher Don Drysdale. He's been described as having been a bad student, finding inspiration outside the classroom, and being interested in art and sports. He hit tennis balls with Pancho Gonzalez at the Los Angeles Tennis Club to warm him up. After graduating from high school in 1954, he attended the University of Colorado in Boulder for a year and a half, where he was a member of the Kappa Sigma fraternity. While there, he worked at the restaurant/bar The Sink. A painting of his likeness is prominent in the bar's murals. While at Colorado, Redford began drinking heavily and as a result lost his half scholarship and was kicked out of school. Later, he traveled in Europe, living in France, Spain, and Italy. He later studied painting at the Pratt Institute in Brooklyn and took classes at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, class of 1959, in New York City. Redford began acting on television in the late 1950s, including an appearance on The Twilight Zone in 1962. He earned an Emmy nomination as Best Supporting Actor for his performance in The Voice of Charlie Pont, 1962. His greatest Broadway success was as the stuffy newlywed husband of co-star Elizabeth Ashley's character in Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park, 1963. Redford made his film debut in War Hunt, 1962. His role in Inside Daisy Clover, 1965, won him a Golden Globe for the Best New Star. He starred alongside Paul Newman in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, 1969, which was a huge success and made him a major star. He had a critical and box office hit with Jeremiah Johnson, 1972, and in 1973 he had the greatest hit of his career, the blockbuster crime caper The Sting, a reunion with Paul Newman, for which he was nominated for an Academy Award. That same year, he also starred opposite Barbra Streisand in The Way We Were. The popular and acclaimed All the President's Men, 1976, was a landmark film for Redford. He starred in Brubaker, 1980, as well as playing the male lead in Out of Africa, 1985, which was an enormous box office success and won 7 Oscars, including Best Picture. He released his third film as a director, A River Runs Through It, in 1992. He went on to receive Best Director and Best Picture nominations in 1995 for Quiz Show. In 1996, he was awarded the National Medal of Arts. He received a second Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement in 2002. In December 2005, he received the Kennedy Center Honors for his contributions to American culture. In 2016, he was honored with a Presidential Medal of Freedom. For War Hunt in 1962, he was paid $500. For The Sting in 1973, he was paid $500,000. For A Bridge Too Far in 1977, he was paid $2 million. For The Electric Horseman in 1979, he was paid $3.5 million. For Out of Africa in 1985, he was paid $6 million. For Legal Eagles in 1986, he was paid $8 million. For Indecent Proposal in 1993, he was paid $5 million plus 15% of the first dollar gross. For The Last Castle in 2001, he was paid $11 million. Robert Redford's net worth is $170 million. Robert Redford's house and ski resort in Sundance, Utah has been his permanent residence since the 1980s. He and his wife built almost the entire place themselves. Robert Redford also had a house in Napa Valley worth $7.5 million. The 10-acre private and gated estate is atop a knoll in St. Helena, a town in Napa Valley. The 5,255-square-foot main residence has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, an office, a library, and more. There's also a separate 1-bedroom, 1-bath artist studio and fitness center. The main bedroom has floor-to-ceiling windows with views and a fireplace. There's an outdoor pool with a hot tub and a cabana. The separate studio has a clear garage door that retracts into the roof. Robert Redford's cars include a 1965 Porsche 904 GTS, a Mercedes E-Class, an Aston Martin DB9, a BMW 6 Series convertible, and a 1987 Chevy Silverado.